7 o'clock in the evening, and Ben Benson is finally wrapping up his latest assignment. He has been working tirelessly for the past 3 days on 12-hour shifts in preparation for a department-wide formal party event. He is now crossing the last task off the list when he gets a disturbing phone call from the head of the department, Dr. Martin.
Yellow? Yes, Dr. Martin. Oh, things are coming along very well, Dr. Martin. Yes, I'm confident it's going to be a great event. You need what? Oh, yeah, no problem. Yeah, I've got that here. I should be able to lay hands on that and take care of it right away for you. Yes, sir? Yeah, I appreciate that it was the thing that you remember most, even though it's been a long time. Absolutely. I'm your guy. I'm right on it, and don't worry about it at all. Okay, we got it covered. We got it covered. Yeah, we got it covered.
Dr. Martin is known to be a little eccentric. He has tunnel vision and is a little obtuse when it comes to timing. So it really isn't a surprise that he's calling Ben Benson at this very last moment for this request. And of course, Benson, being the excellent assistant that he is going to do the very best to try to comply with his or her wishes.
Unfortunately, what Benson originally thought was going to be a simple request turned out to be far more difficult and mysterious than he ever imagined.
In this hunt for the doctor's mysterious item, not only did Benson realize that he was going to miss his hot date, but he also had no idea what the doctor was even talking about, which makes sense because Benson had only been working in the department for the last 3 years. The file that referenced the item was last seen 5 years ago. This made the request quite daunting and required hours of searching through files in the office.
In fact, Benson searched for the next 2 days and could find no trace of the file, but he did come across something extraordinary.
Benson searched and searched and finally ran across a file that he had originally overlooked that listed a bunch of strange-looking numbers. And those numbers seemed to be associated with different topics that were relevant to the department. One number in particular caught his eye, 08-447.
08-447, numbers that held a great deal of importance. Benson's entire search is now hinged on the meaning of those numbers.
So now Benson has this number, but he has no clue as to what this number is all about. But he does understand enough to know that he had to find out its meaning before the missing file could be found.
And so Benson begins to interview his co-workers in hopes that someone understood what the numbers mean.
So now Benson is going from office to office, cubicle to cubicle, looking for anyone who can give him a clue about this strange number. And it seemed that he could not catch a break until he runs into Julie Thompson.
Julie Thompson is a fellow administrative assistant that works in the same building as Benson, and what she has to tell Benson changes the entire direction of his investigation.
So Ben approaches me about these numbers, and there was something about these numbers that looked really familiar. I just couldn't quite put my finger on it. But soon I realized I'd seen these numbers before. They were the control numbers for the record center. It blew my mind that Ben had no idea what I was talking about. Everyone should know about the record center. I know my office would go nuts without their services.
The University of Georgia Record Center, a resting place for those records placed on their own special death row. It was understandable that Ben's initial reaction was panic.
I tried to calm Ben down, but he was all crazy go nuts. He felt that there was no way he could get those files and that they'd been sent out to the record center. But he wasn't listening to me. So I gave him the names of the record manager that I dealt with, Ryan Smith, knowing that if anyone could help, Ryan would know what to do.
Benson immediately contacted the record center and explained his situation.
Benson was in a full panic. He had no reason to panic. The record center doesn't destroy records all willy-nilly. They destroy based on the Board of Regents' retention schedule or guidelines. And even if the guidelines told them that they could destroy the records, they would never, ever, ever destroy anything without warning the office that created the files.
You know, I couldn't believe it. Not only did the strange 08-447 number have meaning for the records manager, he was able to find the files within an hour. I was able to get into the file, locate the document that I needed, get the information that I needed, go online, get the order placed, problem solved. Boy, am I grateful for records management.
We are now standing live in front of the office of Ben Benson with breaking news that he was able to finally find that file. Mr. Benson, how do you feel about finding the file?
I'm just really, really happy to have gotten the file. Thankful now that the party can be a success. This was what we needed to make the thing a big hit, and I'm really grateful to Records Management for their help.
Great. Well, Mr. Benson,
Yes.
Can you let us know what was on that file? I mean, what was so important that you had to work 12-hour shifts straight and interview the entire staff in your building to find it?
Cookies.
I'm sorry, Mr. Benson, what was that?
Cookies. Dr. Martin fell in love with the cookies we had at the party 3 years ago and wanted to have them again, and that was the emergency.
Cookies?
Girl Scout cookies.
Oh, wait! Here comes the record manager herself, Miss Jackson! Miss Jackson! How do you feel about the fact that Mr. Benson found the missing files at your record center?
Oh, well, Mr. Benson's organization did a great job of organizing their materials. The boxes were well labeled, the files were well labeled, and the control number that's associated with the document that we were looking for, he gave it to us. And in having that control number, it was easy to locate the file.
And how does this make you feel about your record center?
Efficient.